Cup Winners' Cup. Horrible 2, Celtic 1. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Deeney, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers open the scoring. Up in Tawdry. 12 minutes of the match remaining.
What a strike.
A stunner from Kenny Miller. Rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at RangersRadio.online.
He's gone into the middle. McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he going to let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxter, on the panel this evening as the one and only Bridgeman and Cumbrian Bear. How are we doing, gentlemen?
I started off on mute, so I started off well, haven't I?
They call that on the show, the technical term for that is doing a bridge.
I don't know.
Can I just say a huge good evening to the guys in the panel, a big good evening to all the guys in the lobby, and to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening to your wee radio station. Everybody, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How we doing, CB?
I'm good, man. I'm looking forward to the show. I've been a bit intermittent this week, through family reasons.
I read some, mate.
Aye.
Okay, mate.
Aye, my daughter come back into my life there. And
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
So I'm as high as a kite. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Everything going well with the daughter now, aye?
She's a daddy's girl.
Well, that's good then. That's good.
After she hit me, of course. She's a wee Brahma.
Always.
Yeah,
always, pal.
She's a wee Brahma.
Good on you, Cumbrian. Please see me.
She left a bear, by the way. She didn't know it was in your jeans, but I put it right.
Quite right. Good on you, mate. Good on you. What did you make of the ladies' night on Rangers Radio?
The what?
The ladies' night when the wife's phoned in.
I know. How embarrassing. I want to come back on. Good. Excellent.
It was funny. Took us by surprise. We didn't know what to say, mate. Went with Bridge, we were stuck for words.
Absolutely. It was very enlightening. You know.
Entertaining. So we're looking forward to the ball game tomorrow, Bridge, CB.
Certainly are.
Absolutely, pal. I'm buzzing for it. I can't wait to go. Get out there and just to soak it up again, you know. Tremendous. As I say, I was over at Ibrox midweek and the guys were saying as far as they're concerned, it's sold out. That's fantastic. I mean, God almighty, that's virtually every game at Ibrox, apart from the cup games, sold out. What a tremendous support. What tremendous support. That's awesome.
Let's be honest, mate. Let's be really honest. But performances at Ibrox, they're the piece this season. Take away the 2 Aberdeen games. One game against Hearts where we done okay there a few weeks ago. It's been turgid stuff, Bridge.
Oh, it's dreadful stuff, pal. We're particularly at home. It's like, I mean this in all sincerity, everyone. It's like watching some of the bad games when Warburton was running it, and all you could say was, well, you know, we did this and it looked good for that, and I was happy with that. But all the time he's just winding us up. I think, you know, it's just terrible stuff, you know. You know, they're getting down so far, and then all of a sudden you're going across, but no skill, just to hold the ball. We talked about it last night a wee bit. Crabbing, they called it crabbing, cross-head, but we know nothing in it, no end product, you know, just poor.
Can I come in?
And you go, CB, yeah.
Right, here's my take on the Rangers this season.
Right, take a seat, Bridge, take a seat, mate.
Yeah, I'm sitting.
Here's my take.
Go on, then.
We've got the Rangers, man. See, when this happened to us, I thought we would never see the Rangers again. That's what I thought. But we're here, and we're up there challenging them. And here's my take on the whole team this season. The whole club is we're going through a hard time, let's put it that way. There's some time in every game I've watched the Rangers playing this season. Every game, and I mean every single game, we could quite easily have won a lot of them. We play some tremendous Fitbit at times. Something happens. The consistency goes, and we give away stupid goals, and I don't know why. But we play some excellent Fitbit at times, and we've been doing it for a few years.
Is it a personnel thing, mate?
I think they lack a bottle, Oxdear.
When you mean that,
I mean that with the team. I think they've not.
the jersey's too big for them.
Aye.
Anyway, well, I don't know what's happened here. I think we'll get another. I don't know if it's a female, but evening caller.
What do you mean you don't know if it's a female?
How we doing, Skipper?
Just cause I've got a frock on.
Well, it is Friday. It is Friday night.
Skipper!
What are you like?
What's that? What, you've got a shaved era.
Well, I have on the face.
I can't see your
I'm good.
face.
How are you old folks?
Great, pal.
I'm glad you phoned in, Skipper, to bring the average age of the panel down.
No, don't be fooled by my handsome good looks.
I can't answer that, Skip. Skipper, I knew you were going to phone in. Do you want to tell the people what you've got?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. I've got a spare ticket for the club deck tomorrow. And the good news is it's not beside me.
Oh,
I've got a spare ticket for the club deck tomorrow. And right. I'm not looking for the money for the ticket. What I would like is if there's somebody want to go to the game tomorrow, if they make a donation, or they promise to make a donation to Jim Hanna's Just Giving page, I would settle for that. And I can meet them at the bistro and give them a ticket.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Brilliant, eh? Bridge, give that a
Magic.
shout out.
Absolutely superb.
Get a shout out. So, Skip's got a ticket for the club deck. Unfortunately, it's not beside him. But it's free only to make, somebody's got to make a donation to the Jim Hanna Just Giving page for the boy that was Broxton Bear who passed away tragically this week.
Can I come in there, Ox?
Yes, CB.
Skipper, can I just say to you, pal, I would take the ticket in a second, but my health's not letting me travel up at the minute, mate.
I know that, sir. I know that.
Skipper, see if you can put a link in. I hate putting money on the internet, you know what I mean? I don't like putting my bank details in the internet. But if you could send me some sort of address, there's money there for the fund, just for your Just Giving thing. How do I go about it? I'll send it to you if you want.
No, I'll put you right with that. That was how I got onto it.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you can, because you're on the thing me now, ain't you? Messenger, ain't you?
Yes.
Well,
I think so.
Text me on that, and I'll get some money up for the crowdfunding thing.
CB.
Well, as I say, if anybody in the lobby wants to PM me, just their name. I don't need to know how much they want to donate or anything. Just your name. And if there's more than one at 10:30 tonight, I'll just put the names in a wee hat and throw somebody out, and they can have a ticket.
So if anybody's wanting a club deck ticket tomorrow, get in touch through the lobby, phone in the show, make a donation, and we can sort it out. If you want to do that, it'd be great to hear from you. But there's a ticket there for a game. It's also a sellout at Ibrox tomorrow, Skipper. Eh?
It is that, yes. Terrific, isn't it?
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
But listen, I'm not going to stay on tonight. I need to go because this bra's killing me.
Well, it is Friday night, mate.
The one you stole off me.
That would have been
but it wasn't yours.
That would have been too big for him.
Does it see it? Does it say?
No, that was his knickers or something.
Maddie.
Listen, I'm going to go just now, lads, okay?
All right, mate.
Cheers, Skip.
Right, Skipper.
So I don't want to hog this line in case there's any wives trying to phone in.
The Reader's Wives section.
Right, have a great show. No, I'll catch up with you later on.
Right, Skipper. See you later, mate.
Right, cheers.
Cheers, Skip.
Bye.
Can I just say something? CB, I don't know if you got PayPal. Have you got PayPal?
I get my PayPal hack, Brad.
You'll probably be able to pay on the Just Giving by using a type of, so you might be able to use PayPal to donate through that.
I don't use PayPal. I don't send money.
Oh, you don't? Sorry, I thought you said you did. I apologize. Oh, you did you?
I did.
That can happen when you're moving money from Switzerland Bridge.
That's a good point, actually. I better watch it.
Anyway, once again, great offer by Skipper there. Ticket for tomorrow. Looking for a donation to the Just Giving page. I need to get the boy's right name. Jeez, oh, that's only the right thing to do. It's only correct. So anybody that wants it, it's there for you. And a great thing a Skipper to do that for anybody here.
Absolutely brilliant. Really, really good. I mean, I like that kind of stuff,
You wouldn't expect anything else with Skip, I'm telling you. He's just like that. Great bear.
I'm trying that page up. It's not opening for me. I'll try and refresh it. So now we'll open it. Anyway, we move on. Cumbrian, you were giving us your thoughts. I'll get that, but you're giving us your thoughts on the team. You think the jersey's too heavy for some of them?
Well, I can't put my finger on it because some of the fitness got me out my seat. And some of it would make you cry. It's just dire, some of it. Just unforced errors all over. I just can't make it out. I don't know why we're so inconsistent. And it's not just under Mr. Morty. It's been for a while, it's not just a new thing. I can't make it out. We don't seem to be able to kill the game off.
I was just lacking maybe 10% short in every game. Our defence is 10% short to keep them out, and we lack that quality in midfield 10% short in midfield to produce more chances, and 10% up front to take them. Is it just that tweak and that wee bit of quality, CB, just to make everything better in the team?
Aye. You've probably hit the nail on the head. I think we're missing the magic. We've not got a magician. We've not got a Jimmy Baxter, a wee ball of him. We've not got Davy Coopers and things like that. Men that can turn it. Because don't forget, them boys played in teams that only get by in 1 goal or 2 goals. You know what I mean? The best of our players have played in teams like that. Right? And struggle to get results in some games. This team's no different. It's the history of the Rangers. It's what makes us what we are. We're fighters and we'll come back. Maybe not this season. I think we've left it too late, which is sad, because I thought
maybe a week on Sunday. But what I'm saying, to improve as a team, you need to win games 1-0, move away, and you say, "Oh, that was dire." Mm-hmm. But the next thing you know, you're 6 points away, clearing the league bridge, man. Eh?
Yeah, I think we've spoke about this a number of times, but it's lovely to talk about. And obviously, we can all see we're actually short of a bit of quality in a number of key positions. And when you've got quality in these key positions, other players who aren't of that quality can raise their game and sort of mix in. If they've not got any quality, then they're playing alongside people of the same quality as themselves, which they're never rising. People are never rising. They're never being able to raise up in a normal run-of-the-mill games. They struggle. It really and truly, that's what we need. We need a really good central defensive system, and we need a really good midfielders, a real at least one top quality midfielder that can actually play football and do what he needs to do. I'm not saying we haven't got one there, but we've run into injuries left, right and centre, and obviously we need people to put the ball in the net.
Anyway, I think somebody's been trying to phone an old call. You need to throw in RangersRadio.online, know the old call that you've got maybe on your system. I think it might be Bear Down Under. Bear Down Under, if you give Rangers Radio a phone, know the old call, you'll be brought right into the show. Cumbrian, We've not spoke to you for a while. You've got a chance of signing 2 players for 2 positions. What would it be?
I think I agree with most of the guys on here. We need a right good centre half. We really do. We need somebody that's going to clear our area and use it when you get, a classy centre half. And I think we need. I hear them all saying about different positions. I'm not really too caring because what we need somebody that can play fit with the way Butch did and be able. Somebody can pick out a pass onto your strikers. Some Irshad are saying we need a striker, but I don't know too much about that. I don't think we lose so many games through the strikers. I think we lose the games through giving away silly goals at the back.
I think
we need a defence sort. I think we need a right good.
All right. Talking about guys who don't care about positions, we've been joined by Big Al. How we doing, Big Al?
Not bad. Pardon me. Not bad, gentlemen. How are you as well?
I had the right continent just the wrong side, mate. It was yourself. Was it yourself that was ringing the old call?
Yes, it was. Sorry.
No bother, mate. Not a problem, mate. How are you, mate?
Aye, good.
And how's the mega star in the household?
I told you, you've created a monster, man. She's getting me making her cups of tea and that. This isn't happening, man. The Waynes are massaging her feet, man. Jeez. Nah, she's fine. She's in her scratcher, man.
But early, aye. Did you let the Waynes hear herself on the archive?
Aye, I let them hear theirs. Created a my daughter Cameron. She's a wee bit of the superstar anyway. So she's listened to about 6-7 times. Can I hear myself again, Dad? Can I hear myself again, Dad? Can I hear myself again, Dad? I think watch out for her in the future. I think she's going to be famous. Actually, she's very matter of fact. She says, I'm good on that, eh? I'm good on the radio. I'm good on the radio, Dad, eh?
Well, when she does, this is your life. I'll push Bridge on the stage.
I love it. Just love it.
Oh, you're breaking up there. I missed that.
Oh, you're still there. Oh, talking about people.
I am.
Talking about people who have famous people. We'll be joined by Rudy Bear. How we doing, Rudy?
Oh. Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
Hello, Rudy. I hope you've not been listening to the archives, Rudy.
I was the other day, aye. I thought Mrs. Big Al and Mrs. Pudge were brilliant, to be honest. Best, mate, it's the most sense it's been on the show for ages, man.
Rudy, your wife has been Ice Bucket challenged. Everybody would like to hear.
I
would like to hear.
I heard that.
She could come on and give us a wee bit of background, mate.
I'm sure she will. I'm sure she'll be up for that at some point.
Excellent.
After she gets a bit of an instruction, obviously, Al, you know what I mean?
Oh! Aye. She's going to tell the truth. No, that's all good. It's nice to hear your voice here, Rudy. I've been missing you, buddy.
You too, Big Al. You too, mate. I see you're on Skype.
He's moved on. He's moved on, Rudy, isn't he?
It hasn't half,
The boy's all grown up. He's
got a technical on us now, so he has been Skype.
I can even put me in socks on.
Right, listen, gentlemen, I'm just going to let Comrie and Bear finish and then we'll come round the panel. Rudy, I'm anxious to hear your thoughts because we've not heard from you for a while and then we'll go to Big Al. Is that all right with everybody?
Aye, smashing. That's fine.
Comrie, you're saying a defender and a midfielder.
Well,
do we need a captain, a Rangers captain, on the park? We seem to lack leadership on the park.
Mm-hmm. Aye, you can see that. They seem to be like that. They don't, and yet it is really, really strange to see the Rangers nowadays. Some of the football we play is as good as any. It really is. But no, it's no there for the whole game. But you don't know what they're going to do one half from the next. One half they could be brilliant, the next half rubbish. It's amazing. Aye, we need a captain. Aye, obviously. We need a manager as well. We need somebody that's going to know how to get the best out of what he's got. Whether it's Mr. Murray, I don't know.
Can't see it, mate. I really can't see it. I can't see it. I just think he's come in, he's done a turn for his no wife for me. That's it. Sheikh Khan's the ball's in Graham Murray's court if he wants to go back and develop his career. we're in our 20s at Rangers. I don't think anybody will be upset if he wants to leave for Pasternak and cut his teeth as a manager and move on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll shake hands and wish him all the best, but we need a proper, experienced manager in.
We do.
You know, and that's only my opinion. People will see it differently, but that's the way I see it, CB.
We need a toughness a bit, but we lack toughness, I think. We're a bit namby-pamby.
I read somewhere that one of the forums, and they said we're the nicest team in the league, and I think that maybe sums us up, you know.
Aye. We're too nice.
Aye. Anyway, we'll go to Rudy Bear, who we've not heard. Give a lot of thoughts, a lot of things he's not commented on. How we doing, Rudy?
Aye, everything's good here. Hawks, thanks very much. Aye. I mean, the last few weeks, the last 3 games, I mean, 1 point out of 9 just says it all, really, doesn't it? And some of the performances have been abysmal. I mean, the first half against Motherwell, it's just, it's hard to explain how bad that first 45 minutes was, actually, you know. I mean, it was so bad, you know, you can rant and rave about it all you like, but at the end of the day, it was utterly dreadful, you know. I mean, even the game against Kelly, we seemed to carry on in that first 45 from where we left off against Kelly. I mean, the game against Kelly as well, I thought we were abysmal at times. And teams seem to know, I mean, you know, you were talking about sort of being too nice. Teams seem to know now. They've got it sussed. All they need to do is knock us about the park a wee bit, and we don't want to know. They don't want to know. That's how it looks to me. And you're talking about 2 players, and you could bring 2 players in. For me, Bridge has been going on about it for a long time now. A big, commanding, tough centre-back for me, and a Barry Ferguson in the midfield for me, I'm afraid, because the midfield seriously needs to toughen up. And I know at times when Graham Murphy's playing 2 in the midfield, we're struggling against 3 and 4 players, you know, and it's asking a lot of 2 boys, you know, to try and cover so much ground and do so much work. That has to be looked at as well. We need a ball-winning midfielder. We need a Barry Ferguson in there. So what I'd give for a Barry Ferguson right now, because that midfielder's sadly lacking for me. We were banging on about Sean Goss for weeks, you know, and then all of a sudden the boy just went right off the boil. Very reminiscent of the Emerson Hyndman. I think if you think back to that boy, you know, we were praising him up to the hilt, and then he kind of went off the boil a bit. So I don't know what the story is with Sean Goss, but he doesn't seem to have been up for it. But I mean, 1 point out of 9 in the last 3 games, and it's just very, very frustrating for me, as I'm sure it is for everybody else, because every time the darts riders have tripped up, we've failed every single time to make any ground up on. Every time, and that's the really frustrating thing. We could have had such a good season this season, you know. As for Graham Murphy, I appreciate what he's done for us, but he's not the man for the job. It's as simple as that. A few weeks ago, we were talking on here, would we give, you know, you had a wee bit of a poll, and you were asking, would we give Graham Murphy the job? It seemed to be quite a lot of consensus for the guy, you know, because we were playing well, we were scoring goals. And I think probably the only 2 dissenting voices I could remember for that night was me and Big Al. We said, no, you know, I mean, I always had my doubts, you know, in the last 3 games it's just proved that for me. He's just not the guy for the job, and we need a manager. There's names being chucked about, De Boer, Bronkhorst, guys like that. And for me, I'd rather see a British-style manager, to be honest, because I think Scottish football is an entity all in itself. I mean, some of the tackling that goes on up here is just, you wouldn't get away with it anywhere else. It's as simple as that. You just wouldn't get away with it anywhere else. And I think a manager that comes in at the end of the season has to be somebody that understands the game here, understands how football works up here. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to have a connection with Rangers, but they have to be a British-style manager for me, I think.
All right, mate, all right. Big Al, what's in your mind?
First and foremost, me and Rudy are visionaries, you know what I mean?
Good work, that's a good
one. Just to go back to a wee thing you were talking about last night, we were talking about I think by putting Graham Murphy in charge, it's really took us back. It's a big mistake. Because as we say, they've brought boys, we've not took advantage of that with the players and we've brought the board. I think they've let us down in that position. I think, and I've said to you before, another one of my visionary things, I've seen that in young Bates. There's a good centre-half for us. And I would put McCrory in with him, and that'd be our future. You've got your Ryan Jack. I can't see Ryan Jack playing with McCrory in the middle of the park, so I'd take Ryan Jack in front of him, and maybe need to buy somebody else. We need 2 full-backs, definitely. I would keep John, and I'd keep Tavernier at the club. We could get rid of some dross that's at the club. I would just move them up further. I'd go and get that boy Tate. He looks a big athletic guy. Is it Tate for Motherwell? Blondie, he that right back boy. He looks like he's up for the cup. So I would utilise Bates and McCrory. For me, I would play them as our centre-halves. And I think they've got it sorted. You've got somebody there that's big, domineering. Bates will come into more of a game in the future. But you've also got somebody that's got tenacity at the back, is also domineering in McCrory, and also can play a no bad ball out for the back to a midfield. If Jack comes back, look, I've not been that impressed with him, but I think he can play that position in front of the back four. For there on in, I think we need a big shake-up. I say to you, I didn't think Goss, another one of my visionaries, I didn't think Goss was up for the cup, to be quite honest. He looked tippy-tappy in that, but he's got the same thing. He's got that fanny-itis that Windassie's got. They've just not got balls, and we need fighters. I listened to a podcast yesterday, Ian Ferguson. Play that podcast to any player that comes into Rangers. That's what we require. We need people with big balls that are up for the fight, first and foremost, and that has to be reflected in a manager. So, board, I'm asking you to get your finger out. We've had that 2 weeks now that McCoy said we may have a manager in or have it resolved. That's coming up. So, let's see this manager. Somebody with teeth, somebody with grit, somebody with guile, tactically, that can take us forward. And there has to be a bit of major investment, I think. For me, we need 2 full-backs. Wallace is done now, I believe, is he not? He's out again. Tavernier is just, isn't he? He's a good enough player, but I would prefer him. I think Fox says you could play him and John further up the park. I think they've got enough about them to play that further up the park, but defensively, I think they're lacking, and we'll have to have a solid back four. And I would go for a new goalkeeper as well. I'd go for that Carson at Motherwell. He looks a wee bit angrier. Wes is too nice for me, I think. We need somebody that's got to be domineering in that box. So you need 4 at the back with that goalkeeper. Right, solid 5.
So, I mean, roughly about half a dozen players. I mean, I think you could be right there, mate, because I think some of them have been there that long. They've proven that they've got quality in their game, but their flaws mean that they're always going to be liabilities, because over a season, they're going to have good games, but then they're going to have games that's going to cost you points. We need consistency.
Could I ask Rudy a wee question?
Aye, of course you can.
Because I've not heard from him for a couple of... Rudy, just about the Cummins debate, mate. Do you think... I probably have maybe put words in your mouth, but I don't think he's had a good enough crack, and I think that's in danger of him no signing a contract with us.
I agree with you. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I mean, what's the point in bringing the boy on for a few minutes at a time? You know, he's not getting a proper crack at it, you know, and I don't see it. And somebody mentioned a wee while back, and I think it was Blue Shadow might have said, come the end of the season, he'll not want to sign for us.
No,
he'll not want to sign for us because he's not getting a proper crack at it. And that's how it's starting to look now. For me, I think the boy would score goals all day long. You get him into the box, because he's a proper penalty box striker. You get him into the box. Sorry, on you go, mate.
Sorry, I'm still getting used to this Skype thing. The thing with him as well, he's a bit of a fighter, you know what I mean? He scored goals, but I think he's got the attributes that we're looking for in the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I listened to that Ian Ferguson, and he says if he went in for a challenge, I'm paraphrasing, he went in for a challenge and the player goes down. At the moment, we're putting our hand out to lift the player up. Ferguson says, we stood there to tap him and wondering whether to kick him again or letting him know, I'm going to kick him again, you know what I mean?
What would you give a new Al for an Ian Ferguson in the team right now?
Oh, unbelievable, man. Eh?
I know.
When you listen, if you listen to that, man,
you don't know what you've got to. It's no there, Rudy.
Aye.
That's
but
I
think
Cummins
has got that. I think Cummins has got that as well. You know what I mean? As well as goals, he's got that bit of badness in him that he'd fight for the team. Morelos for me is a bit selfish. I think. I don't think he gets the whole Rangers thing. And we get money for him in the summer. Sorry.
I think you might be right, mate. The chances are he's off in the summer. Anyway, we've been joined by the one and only Fox. Evening, Fox.
Evening, Fox.
Evening, Fox.
Hello there.
Hello there. Did I hear the clink of glasses, or is that ice?
You certainly did. It's Friday, mate. It's Friday.
Oh, dear.
40 ounce of Friday.
40
and it's my day off. What you make me phone up for?
I told you, if you have a day off, I have a day off.
I only phoned in with a point. What's the difference between police in the USA and the police in Glasgow, mate?
Oh.
4,000 miles.
Is that an anagram? Is that one of the anagrams again?
No, but if you throw something through a bus one day and cause all sorts of shenanigans, mate, you're lifted right away. But if you do it at Govan Cross, mate, they can't find you. That's the difference.
They will arrest Catholics in America.
Well said, mate.
You've got a point out.
Anyway,
lads, him, man.
So we have a clue what the team's going to be in Saturday, tomorrow. Let's go on mute and let's hear from Graham Murray.
Graham, it's always difficult when any former player from a club passes away. Although the past boy didn't cross greatly, how much has the loss of Ray Wilkie's been felt at Rangers the last few days?
It's been felt when you talk to people like Jimmy Nicholl, who obviously played with Ray. You've talked to Jimmy Bell, who's here and knew him as a man, not just as a player, because people get to see the guy on the pitch and they form opinions about that guy on the pitch. But I'm talking to people in here about the man, and as a man, he will be greatly missed by all who knew him.
In terms of the game this weekend, how's your squad looking at the moment?
Yeah, looking all right. We've had a few niggles and a few people coming back and returning to the group, but the squad look hungry. I would use that word to categorise them this week, which for me is where they need to be. Is Josh available? He's not, unfortunately. It's going to be a bit too soon for him. He's a bit tender at the moment, and he didn't train at all this week. Cedric's a hefty guy, and obviously Josh felt that impact. We're going to miss him this week, but as I've always said, gives someone else an opportunity to come in and impress.
What target do you set for your players in the remaining fixtures now, so we're getting to the sort of final stage of the season?
It's exactly the same as it was. It's still in our hands, I believe. We want to be pushing on and finish as high in the league as we possibly can. And we've got a massive game next weekend to look forward to, but obviously we need to take care of this game first and ensure that we get our season back on track.
Do you feel that the reaction from the players in the second half last weekend demonstrates that you can get that response out of them?
There's been a lot said about me getting a response from them. There were some harsh words spoken. There's some forthright views put forward. But the players have to walk onto the pitch. Before half-time, afterwards, I get to say my piece. As soon as they walk across the white line, it's about the players. I've always said it. It's about the players going onto the pitch, taking ownership and turning up. And I didn't think we did it enough in the first half. And in the second half, we looked more like I want us to look. And the players know that. The players know that at this football club, it's not just enough to play in the game. You have to contribute. You have to make something happen. And I thought we had players that were hungry to go and do that, kind of exemplified by Jamie Murphy, who I thought was exceptional in the second half.
Given your words there and what you said to the boys after the game last week, do you expect them to come out all guns blazing from the get-go?
We need to. We need to. We're at home. We need to go and force the tempo. We need to go and push the issue. Because we're at home, we need to take charge of the game and put our opponents, whoever they are, on the back foot. We need to do that more. We need to be more aggressive in our intent, more aggressive in our play, more aggressive in our defending, and make sure that we push the tempo rather than have an opponent's game plan imposed upon us, which I thought we did in the first half at Motherwell.
You've spoken often about the pressures of playing for Rangers and the uniqueness of it. Do you get a sense that some of the players here struggle with that and how much pressure they have to face week in, week out, and the relentless nature of that?
It's something I've been thinking about all week, and it's something I think applies to my position as well. And I am the firm believer that the pressure that you feel is an absolute privilege. It is a privilege to feel the pressure of representing this football club. In my capacity or in a playing capacity or in working in the press office, it is a privilege to have that pressure upon your shoulders to go and represent our club in the way that we should do. You need to step up and take it. I believe I can. I believe the players can. But talk's cheap. You have to go and handle that pressure on a daily basis. And we'll see tomorrow when we kick off whether we're in the right mindset to go and do that.
Is there a sense that if the guys can't show over the next few weeks that they can live with that it might limit their futures at the club?
Was it can or can't?
If they cannot live up to that pressure and cope with that pressure, then does that then have a long-term impact on them?
Well, it's a long-term impact on everyone. You have to go and, I've said before, it takes big shoulders to fill a Rangers shirt. You have to be able to cope with it. You have to be able to cope with the pressure of playing in front of 50,000 people who demand the very high standards of you. And that demand won't go away. Down when this club was down, thousands and thousands and thousands of people turned up every week, home and away, singing their hearts out, paying their money and representing themselves and backing this club to the hill. We need to go onto the football pitch and represent them in the correct manner every single time. If you can, they will love you and take you to their hearts. If you can't, then football is a ruthless business.
Graham, you mentioned yourself in that context as well in terms of pressure. How do you feel you're dealing with the pressure?
It's new to me, if I'm perfectly honest. It's new at this level. I've played with pressure. I've handled pressure as a player, as a manager, as a coach. It's different, but as I've said, it's a privilege, and I am improving at handling it, and I will be better for it as a person, as a coach, as a manager, for dealing with the pressure. But once again, I have to understand that people aren't having a go at me personally. People don't expect things from me personally. They expect things from this position. They expect a certain level of competence and ability that I believe I have, but you have to go and show that every single day. So we need to make sure that we do that better than we have done. But I go back to the games that we won. We won 6 games in a row, won 9 games out of 10. The players have the ability, they have the quality. It's my job to instill that belief in them to continue to get back to where we want to get to. We are still working towards getting back to where we want to be as a football club. We're on the right path. We're not there yet. I've reiterated it lots and lots. But the process will take time.
You did say last week that you understand why the question will be asked every week until there is clarity, but in terms of your own position, when's the last time you had any dialogue with the hierarchy, specifically Dave King, in terms of where you go from here?
I spoke to Mark Allen yesterday, I spoke to Stuart Robertson yesterday. I speak to them on a daily basis about plans for the summer, about plans for pre-season, about plans for recruitment. As to my own role, I'm under no doubt and there is clarity for me. I'm in charge until the end of the season. I don't expect to hear anything before that, and people who keep on asking me the same question will unfortunately get the same answer. And it's not that we don't want to move on, it's just the way it is, and you have to deal with the reality of the situation.
You mentioned Josh there. Can you tell us the nature of his injury?
16.5 zone of Cedric Keeper falling on his leg. He's got an impact trauma into his calf, and he's a bit tender, he's a bit sore at the moment, and he's a bit swollen, so we're just making sure we take time and we don't stress it unnecessarily, because Josh has played a lot of football and we need to make sure that we get the whole squad fit for the end of the season.
Is he a doubt for next weekend then?
I don't know as yet, it's too soon to say that, but we'll assess him over the weekend and see where he gets to. But he hasn't actually taken part in training this week, so we'll see towards next week how much part he can take.
Any issue with the challenge from Cedric Keeper?
No, not at all. It's a footballing incident. They've both gone for the ball, it's just how they landed.
Wes Foderingham, is he fit?
He felt something today, so once again, you're always going to be conservative day before a game. He missed the training session today. We'll assess him in the morning and see how he is.
What's his issue?
A lower limb issue.
Ross McCrory was saying yesterday that he is sort of raring to go to get back in the side. Is he a player that you feel in that central defensive midfield role could be a key player for you going into the end of the season?
Everyone's got an opportunity to be a key player. Ross is another excellent young player that's coming back to fitness, that is coming into our squad and can be part of it. But I like his attributes, I like his mindset, I like the fact that the last time there was a semi-final he was in the stand, and now he's a Rangers fan getting an opportunity to represent the club, and he's showing every single day in training what that actually means to him. So as a young man, I've got no doubts as to his character, I've got no doubts as to his ability. It's about us to make sure we utilise him in the right place and at the right time.
When you look at some of his performances, the one against Aberdeen at Ibrox sticks out. Is that possibly a position that you've been lacking in, sort of having someone to sit in front of the strip here?
Potentially, but that might necessitate a change in shape, which we're not averse to doing. I like Ross in numerous positions. I like his recovery pace at centre-back. I like his ability to get up and down the pitch at right-back or right wing-back. And when he plays in the centre of the pitch, he allows other people to have more freedom because he has that discipline there to hold and allow them to be more creative. So we're looking at different options and how to integrate him and how to use him best. But as I said, you have to look at your opponent as well and try and negate their threats before you can actually go and do what we want to do.
Dundee tomorrow, they obviously managed to get a point at Celtic Park midweek. What kind of challenge are you expecting from Neil McCann? I'm expecting a motivated, organised, dangerous team. They showed that they can cause problems. They were looking at the score a couple of times, but they were really well drilled, well organised, and they worked extremely hard. So I'm expecting that same kind of performance against us, and I'm expecting us to have to be patient. But once again, I expect us to try and push the tempo and push the issue towards them, because we're at home and we need to be of that mindset. Does it become almost unthinkable at this point to, go 4 games without a win?
Well, it's not unthinkable because it can happen. You have to think about it, you have to deal with it as it happens. We have to make sure it doesn't happen. So, unthinkable is a fantastic headline for a newspaper, but for me, it's just dealing with the realities of the situation and making sure that the players understand we need to go and perform better than we did. But the second 45 at Motherwell was better. It's still some way off what I expect from them and what they expect from themselves, but we have an opportunity again to go and reach the standards that we set previously.
You spoke earlier just about how you said this week you spent quite a bit of time thinking about the pressure on you and the players and how you have dealt or not dealt with it. Can you explain how it's different for you now? Because you've had a really good career, played at a good level, been a senior player in the team, played international football. How is this different? How is this more challenging?
The level of expectation that you have at this football club is second to none. We walk down that corridor and you see pictures and shirts of great teams full of international players playing at the highest level, and that expectation is still here at this football club. Our fans expect to be represented in a certain way. And when you start to do well, as we did, when you start to gain some momentum, as we did, when you dip slightly, then that expectation comes crashing in, and people, rightly, wrongly, have a response to that, which is an emotional one. So you have to deal with the emotion first, and then understand it comes from a pure desire to see this football club back on top. So the pressure comes from us wanting to be on top. The fans want us to be on top. And, rightly or wrongly, everything that's spoken or written in the media is exacerbated when you do well or when you don't do so well. And I think that I, personally, have to be better at ploughing a more considered path, not get too high, not get too low, which is something I'm learning to do.
Has there been one moment or thing over the last week or so that has kind of hit that home to you, or is this just you sort of taking a step back to reflect on?
This is me reflecting back. This is me sitting here and thinking about the pressures of this job or the expectation of this job, and then reminding myself I'm an incredibly lucky individual to be sitting in this seat, to feel this pressure. I'm in a privileged position that not many people have managed to do, and I have to take it for that, and I have to count my blessings every single day that I get to do this job, not be worried about it, not be stressed about it, actually relish the challenge of representing our fans in a proper manner. And once I got that through my own head, I came into work with a smile on my face, spring in my step, and raring to go again. And that's how I have to approach it, because the players are looking at me. They're looking at me and making sure that I'm ready for it, and hopefully from this week they know that I am.
Is that easier said than done sometimes, though?
It is, because I'm a human being. You get so ups and downs, you get frustrated, you get annoyed. I think the players saw at the weekend that I was frustrated and annoyed. But once you reflect on what you've done and the journey that we've come on, there's been some very, very good moments and lots of positives to be thankful for. But we need to continue to improve. We need to continue to get better, and that won't stop until we get back on top. That will not stop. And I've got no doubt, when we do get back on top, there'll be someone wanting another improvement again. But that's just part of it, and that's the nature of the beast.
When the boys disappoint you like they did in the first half, do they see a different side to you? I mean, we see you and you come across as a very nice guy and smiley, polite, but are you capable of sort of baring the teeth and showing the guys that you're angry with performances?
They saw it. They know it. They knew it wasn't. I'm not going to. It's almost a parent one. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. But I was very disappointed in the manner in which we approached the first half. That wasn't us. That's not what I want the team to look like. That's not what the players want the team to look like. And I asked them to actually stand up and to be held accountable for their actions, and they did. And in the reviews afterwards, they've been really honest with one another and making sure that we understand that our standards are higher than that and have to be higher than that if we want to continue to improve.
Well, where do I start? Oh, come in, Bear. Talk's cheap, mate.
Sorry, lads.
No, it's all right. Doing a bridge, man. See, you've got the technical terms already, CB.
I'm only 5 minutes in the show as well. Aye, talk's cheap, of course it is, but I mean, he's not going to say anything else, is he?
No.
That sounded like an interview for a job to me. That's what I was thinking to myself. He's put an interview in for a job there, you know, because he's bumming himself up a good bit, you know. He talks a good fight. He sounds keen. I'm a fan of promoting from within. Who knows? It's like the players. I've seen many teams fail miserably their first year together, managers and everything, and then they come good the second year. So you don't know with it, but that's the thing. You just never know.
No, it's a hard game to predict. Anyway, we've also been joined by young Ibrox Loyal. Evening, Ibrox.
Evening, Troops.
Hi,
Ibrox.
How you doing? Evening, Ibrox.
What can I say, mate? That was another fantastic interview for Mr. Murty yet again.
Thanks, Ibrox.
I it was, mate. It impresses me with the stuff that he says. He doesn't take any crap for the press where previous managers maybe would have done in the past. He gives you it honestly. I think he does it the right way as well. He's saying it there to all us fans that it's not about me, it's about the players and what I can give the players. Give them the tools to go out in the park and perform. Once they cross that white line, there's only so much more he can do as a manager, i.e. he needs to start getting substitutions right at the right time when we're struggling. I think the last few matches, the substitutions haven't been made at the right time, unfortunately. But the way he talks, it's not about him for me personally. He goes, if I get my name in for the job at the end of the season, then fair enough. But the players have to go out in the park and do what they need to do. So,
I mean, I'll take you up. I'm going to go to Big Al next because I heard the tone of his voice. He comes across as a very sincere man. I mean, he's honest as well. But if it was that easy to get teams up and get them playing, how did we not get 9 points out of 9? Big Al?
Aye, well, he's saying the weighty expectation and things like that about his players, but yet he's failed in that. So I can't see how a player can get up for it if he's looking across to the bench and the manager can't get up for it. Tactically, he's naive. He shouldn't be there. Well, the guy on here last week talking about he's already been told he will not be the manager, if I'm correct in saying that. I just don't understand why he's still there. He's not a proper manager, and I think, well, you summed it up. Talk is cheap. He can say all he wants. I don't care. He can move bottles about the table for formations as long as he's getting results and winning games. But he isn't doing that. So, for me, thanks very much. See you later.
Yeah.
Too long. Actually, I noticed if I could pass comment on New York's. I think that's the first time. I think that's the first time I've heard you introduce him since he became manager as Graham Murray. Usually, you're Mr. Murray. So that says a lot for
There's
me.
a message in there, Al.
There's a message in there, big man. People do listen to you know what I mean? Pick up on your small nuances.
You must be the only one, Al. You must be the only one. A guy who's very fair, and sometimes too fair, is your Fox, and then we'll go to Bridge, who's very passionate. Fox. We like Graham Murray, but we're struggling now. Fox?
Aye, I mean, I feel so sorry for the man, mate. Thrown under a bus with a board who couldn't make a decent decision on the next manager coming in. He's fair comment. He's very articulate, polite, and handles the press well. It's a thing he's got today. He's teaching, he was teaching my young boys how to handle the press, and he's got to maintain that when he speaks to the press, mate. I know a lot of people would maybe like him to just stop some of the questions that are thrown at him and just talk about the team and the game for tomorrow. But he just answers the questions he's asked, and he answers them very well, mate. As I say, he tried his best. If his best doesn't turn out to be good enough, as it seems to be at the moment, there is no way that the Rangers support should be giving him the hassle that they're giving him. It's the players to blame. They're the boys that go onto the park and bottle it. And I think he's as frustrated as most of the Rangers support, mate. With them.
All right, how have you seen it, Mr. Bridge?
I think his interview, I kind of disagree a wee bit with Loyal. I don't think it was a great interview. I think you're finding he's a very honest guy, but I think his inexperience shows through a lot of the time. He gets led a lot. He gets led into wee stories for this and wee stories for that. And I'd rather he didn't do that. I'd rather he just stood up and told them, no, I'm not talking about that. Well, be honest as well as being forthright and all that. You've got to be honest too. Rangers fans don't want to hear him telling certain stories. He came away with an excuse for that. Forgive me, I'm going to go on a wee bit of a rant here. Rudy, cover your ears. My rant has been against the Motherwell team, and particularly some of the players. And then I can single out one, which is that boy Keepery. That boy Keepery alone has put 2 of our players out of the game and injuries. One of them still no back yet, and I don't know how long when this is going to be out. Another one broke one of our players' nose in a game, and never even been spoken to. These people, not even spoken to by the referee. Our team, shall we say, our centre forward was challenged. If you want to fight, we can. If you don't want to fight on the park, we can fight after the park as well if you want. That kind of nonsense in the papers and the radio, and I don't think that's right. And our manager, Mr. Murty, he's never said anything about that. He's actually said it was a clash. That's his opinion. It's a clash. That boy and that manager and over across the road there, at least we touch on some of their players, and he's going off his nut, So for him going off his nut, it's a lot of but no. I
must have read it wrong, Bridge. I didn't think the team had ever said to the City objected to touching, but that's just me.
You know what I mean. I was meaning some bad tackles and they're up in arms and things like that. And our manager hasn't said very much about some of the terrible tackles and terrible assaults on some of our players. But that's the only thing I've got wrong. I find it wrong with our manager, and I think it's just purely inexperience. I don't know if he's ever going to make it at a top level. It might be another few years before you see him at a senior level in football. However, football's kind of a strange game. He might leave Rangers and walk into another job and become a star. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Anyway, we'll get quite a few in the call. So, Rudy, give your thoughts, and then...
I think it's all... I don't know. It's all starting to sound very similar week in, week out now for me, and very reminiscent for me of Matt Warburton's interviews as well. Trained well, boys are up for it. Well, it's funny because they didn't look like they were up for it in the last couple of games to me, but yet he said the same thing the last couple of weeks. But Fox makes a good point as well, though. You know, the guy's been chucked under the bus. He's never a manager and a first-team manager in a million years, the guy. He's got a lot to learn. He's a really nice bloke, you know, kind of guy you could sit and talk football with for a couple of hours and have a couple of beers with him, you know, and you thoroughly enjoy your conversation with him. But he's not a manager, Ox. It's as simple as that. And he's proved that. He's tactically inept, which I think Big Al touched on. And he's just not got the experience that we need. Nice guys don't always win. I'm not interested in having a nice guy as your manager. I want somebody like Jock Wallace. That's what I want. Somebody who will grab them by the throat and get them in the dressing room at half time, you know, and absolutely rip them to shreds. That's what I want. I'm not interested in having nice players on the park either anymore. I enjoy watching good football, but right now we've got no steel in that team. We've no leaders in the team, which I thought, you were talking about the centre-backs there the other night. I thought that's what Alves was going to be. I thought he was going to be the leader. That's why I was so chuffed when we managed to bring him in. There's no leaders on the park, and we've got very little leadership. Sometimes it looks like to me in the dugout as well. I think his substitutions, you know, Ibrox touched on that. His substitutions is just, I just don't understand them sometimes. I think he leaves stuff way too late. He looks like he's standing at the side of he's standing at the side of the pitch there. He's biting the collar of his jacket, and it's like he doesn't have a clue what to do next. I kind of think as well, Jimmy Nicholl, you know, where is he in all this? You know, because I thought that was a great appointment at first. I know we're talking about Graham Murphy just now, but I thought Jimmy Nicholl would be a great appointment, a guy that knows what it's all about. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem to communicate a lot with Graham Murphy. For what I can see when I'm watching.
Doesn't look like it during the games, does it? Anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. If you don't mind going on mute, we'll have a tune for Old School Blue.
When brethren are met in their orders so grand, what a beautiful sight for the few. I was ordered to stand by a brother's command, to receive the bright orange and blue, to receive the bright orange and blue, to receive the bright orange and blue. I was ordered to stand by a brother's command.
I think I better let cover that all. But as I said, it's start to sound very reminiscent of the Mark Warburton days now for me. He's saying all the right things. He's a very good speaker. He's a very good talker. He does his interviews fairly well and everything, you know. And he is a really nice guy. But as I say, good guys don't always win. You know what I mean? And I'm not really bothered about having a good guy in the dugout at Ibrox.
You want a winner. You want a winner.
I want a winner. I want a winner. I want somebody that's going to grab them by the scruff of the neck when they're not doing the job that they're meant to be doing. I mean, that first 40... Forget about the Kilmarnock game. The performance last week for me in that first 45 was absolutely abysmal. How they could have come out and played like that after what happened to them against Kelly the week before was absolutely shocking. That was just not on for me. And that should never happen. And we should have a manager in there who can sort that out. And we shouldn't allow that to happen in the first place. You know, so it's no good saying that they're up for it, they train well, you know, they're off firing into tackles and all the rest of it at training. They need to be doing that on the park as well on a weekly basis, you know.
All right, mate. I'm sort of wary, but the funny thing is, if he'd have gave that exact same interview word for word and we'd won the last 3 games, we'd be looking at it so differently.
Aye, but then he's winning then, so it's no a problem. The thing is, he's got 1 point out of the last 9 points. You know, that's just not good enough. No good enough.
Fact. Ibrox, you're out in a limb a wee bit.
Sorry, what's that, mate?
You're out in a limb a wee bit.
No, I don't know if I'm thinking it's just the way that he speaks. He comes across.
He comes across well. Nobody's denying that fact. But look. The trouble is, it's a results-driven industry, as you well know. You know.
No, I do know that, mate.
Yeah, and that's the problem he's got. I think I'm with Fox, mate. I think we took a gamble, we done it with a cheap, easy fix, and ultimately it's failed, and it hasn't been his fault.
No, not at all, mate. But can I just say, I don't know if Goose picked up in part of the interviews as well. When obviously I says last night about Josh Windass, I think he was going to be for at least 2 weeks, so I take it that's going to be next week's match as well. But the thing that worried me a lot more there, and I hope I'm wrong when I say this, but I hope to God that Wes Foddenham makes it tomorrow, because I'm sorry, I know it's a bad thing to say about one of your own players, but I just don't have any confidence in Jack Hannock whatsoever, and it worries me if he has to step into the breach in tomorrow's match, for the sheer fact that he's not had a lot of game time. He might have a Dodd Cup game here or there, but he's very fragile for me as a goalkeeper.
Could I ask Ibrox a question?
Of course, mate.
Ibrox, if you had the choice, would you change Wes Foderingham? Would you bring in a new goalkeeper?
No, I'd begin young Liam Kelly's chance, mate. My personal opinion, I know it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, if Wes is going to boot, I think it's going to be Jack Hannock. It's going to be next season.
Would you change him if you when we had money in place and you could go and buy another goalkeeper? Would you buy another goalkeeper?
I think I would be, mate. Me personally. I see young Kelly as maybe taking the next step up to backup keeper next season. And whenever there's any injuries or cup games like we've seemed to be doing with our goalkeepers, then I'd begin young Liam Kelly his chance. I don't think he would let us down. He did very well in Florida and that as well. So
now, could I pose you another question?
Okay.
I see McGregor's going to look out for another club. Would you take McGregor back? Is McGregor a winner for you? Is a ruthless goalkeeper, and that he could marshal a young defence in front of him like a Bates and a McCrory? Would he give the team a bit of dig? Is he a person that you think would be valuable to us at half-time, pre-game, after-game, during the week?
As much as I loved Alan McGregor, mate, I think his time's past now. He's had too many serious injuries down south now, mate, and he's no really in any great shakes for his team at the moment. So if we're going out there to buy a new keeper, I'd be going out and getting the young boy John McLaughlin. Oh, sorry, he's 30, young to me, but for Hearts, who's out of contract. He's one of the 97 players who are out of contract come the end of the season. And I know that he's on the lookout for a new club. For what I hear for social media, he's on the lookout for a new club, and he is the best goalkeeper in Scotland at this moment in time. So,
one last question, if you don't mind. Seeing you're in the hot seat. What about Carson? How do you rate Carson at Motherwell?
Yeah, you might be part of a celebrity couple, but I did the questions on here.
Oh, sorry. And my final question.
Carry on, Al.
And my final question, Ibrox. Why are you in the house on a Friday night when you're a young man?
That's a good point. That's a good point, Al.
Well, you see, if I don't make it, mate, I've got to hand in a sick note now. So,
all right. So back to the Carson one.
No, I don't fancy him, mate. I know that he's did pretty well against us sometimes, but nah, I don't fancy him. No.
Okay.
John McLaughlin for me, mate. He's the best goalkeeper.
We could get some songs about Carson's army and that, couldn't we? You know,
has he got a cat? You know if he's got a cat?
Fox, you're my pussy expert. Do you know if he's got a cat?
I can't bring myself to answer that.
Meow.
That's what I was talking about. It's all your dirty minds.
When are we able to get an interview for Nurse Gladys?
Oh, Nurse Gladys is no more. She's no more. No more.
Okay.
No more. You've touched a nerve there, Al. Touched a nerve. I can't even mention her off air.
Okay.
All right. Right, so what? Josh Windass, potentially the goalkeeper, no playing tomorrow. So we'll start with Bridge. What's your starting lineup for tomorrow?
What? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? I dare say it'll be the same team that finished up last week. To be honest, as they finished, that's what I would imagine.
As they finished. Right, okay,
as they finished, unless of course he's going to take the chance and put the young boy McCrory in, which everybody wants to see, including myself. So Windass is out, obviously, so I would imagine he's going to play 4-4-2, and that'll be up front. That'll be Cummings and Morelos. That's what I would think he was going to play. Your in midfield to me would be your candidates on the right, Murphy on the left. You'd have Dorrans and what do you call him, the boy for Hamilton? What's his name again? Doherty. I would imagine that, or either Doherty or McCrory, if McCrory's fit. That's the way I'd go, and of course your defence stands for itself at the present moment, unfortunately, at the present moment.
Just change the subject quickly. There's still the ticket on offer for the club deck tomorrow, free of charge as long as you make a donation. I know it's a contradiction of terms. To the Jim Hanna Just Giving page for the young boy who sadly passed away this week, who done Broxy Bear for us for many, many years, Stephen. So come on, Bears. Somebody must want a ticket for the Mora. Somebody must want to go to the games, Ibrox. Somebody must want to go. Anyway. So you're saying the team will be pretty similar. Okay, the Fox.
No, who'll be in goal, but probably Alnick, mate, if Fotheringham doesn't make it. It'll be Tav, Alves, Martin, and Young John. Candias, Dorrans, McCrory, Goss, and Jamie Murphy and Morelos up front for me. That was a 4-5-1 in case you can't work it out.
Aye, I'm all right with that, mate. I'm all right with that. Rudy Bear.
Pretty much, I think, what Fox said there. I'm assuming that Wes isn't playing tomorrow. It would have to be Alan, I think. Tav, Do you know, I think I might just go with Alves and McCrory at the back. Because I think McCrory's going to have to get a run out, because I think he'll play next week. So I'd probably have McCrory at the back with Alves, DJ. Midfield for me, I'd go with 5 in the midfield. Candias in the right, Murphy in the left. In the middle, I'd have Docherty, Dorrans, God, what's his name? I've forgotten the boy on loan. Goss, and Morelos up front. But I would say, depending on how the game's gone tomorrow, Cummings has to get a big chunk of that game at some point. He's got to start giving that boy a chance at some point. And I would start by giving him a big chance tomorrow, depending on how the game's gone.
Fox, I was busy there. I had a message. What was your midfield 3? I know you 5.
Aye, but Goss on the left, McCrory so that he can drop deep, and Dorns, mate.
All right, mate. All right. Ibrox Loyal. Oh, yeah, Ibrox Loyal.
Was that Graham Murray at PMG? Just as a matter of fact.
You know, Graham.
Best come back and tell him put Liam Kelly in nets if Wes is injured, please. But, no, I would just like to go with this. I know it's probably going to be this, but Liam Kelly in goals if Wes is injured. Tavernier, Alves, Martin, DJ, Candias, Docherty, Dorrans, and Murphy with Morales up front, and then CDM I'd be bringing McCrory in for the only change because Windass is out. So for me it's going to be like a 4-1 sort of way. But as I say, it can change into like a 4-2-3-1 or something.
That's 12 players, Ibrox.
That's 11. It's 11.
What's your
percentage? I've not that much to do.
What's the increase in their percentage?
On you go, Big Al. Use your team. Well done, Ibrox.
Well, I'm going to start for the front.
Right, okay.
And I think I've said to you, I think we need to get it's getting embarrassing at Ibrox. It really is. I'm pig sick at it. So I'd go for the front. I'd go Cummins and Miller. In my midfield, Rudy's got a good shout at putting McCrory at the back, but in the midfield I'll go Dorrans, McCrory, Docherty, Murphy. And then the back 4. It's got to be the same as, isn't it? If we got anybody else that we could play alongside, I'm not keen on Martin. Not keen on him at all.
Oh, he was dreadful last week, Al. Dreadful.
There's nobody else we can put in there, is there? We've not got any defenders. So it'll just have to be Martin and Alves, Tavernier and Declan John. I think it's getting to the stage now that we can't afford to be embarrassed now at Ibrox. So I think Miller on, although I love him, I think he gives us that wee bit more experience, but also I think he's got a wee bit more drive about him. And that allows us, if we do go behind or we are chasing it, we've still got maybe Candias come on super sub and maybe Morales come on as super sub if the legs go on Miller. That's the way I would look at it. I think it's getting to the stage now. It's terrible, the form at Ibrox. I think we've got to go out and the season's gone, so I don't know how much it matters, but it matters to me that we put on a good display and the word momentum. I'm sick of using it this season, but it's just to give players. You might need Miller next week. You might need him next week. Give him a wee half an hour. I don't know, man. I don't know where we go for here, but I'd go that way. I'd give Cummins game time, definitely, for the start. If it means dropping Morales. I was really disappointed he never crossed that ball. I'm not saying Cummins would have scored the goal, but I thought he was very selfish, and I don't think he's maybe wanting to give Cummins the ball, because then Cummins will take the limelight, because Cummins I think is held in higher esteem even though he's not playing, as a fan's favourite than Morales is at the moment. So that's what I'd go for.
All right, can I just ask old school blue, if you got my PM. I think we need something radical at Ibrox. I know it's maybe too late. Cumbrian Bear, you're a man of experience.
I think I go 100% really what Fox said. That's how I would play it with Fox, the same personnel in the same positions as well. It makes sense. We've got to control the midfield. We must control. Whoever controls the midfield will win the game. Any game. You've got to control the midfield. It's just the way football works. And I agree with Fox 100% there. The only thing I don't agree with Fox with, Jaram right now, and it's the only thing I've ever disagreed with him on, is I don't feel sorry for Graham Murty. Imagine getting a chance to manage your Rangers even for a day, boys, eh? You know what I mean?
Just so Big Al knows, Fox has moved on for Nurse Gladys. It's Stormy Daniels now.
Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels, you're a shocker, you. So yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I really don't know what the team I would pick if I was a manager. I get Fox's 4-5-1 when you've got to get the wide men in. I get that. Is the trouble being at Ibrox Bridge that we've not been able to play three at the back, so we can have the 3-5-2 where we've got the wide men plus the three midfield and two strikers? Is that the problem at Ibrox? Because we've not been getting results.
The big problem at Ibrox has been there for a long time with just having any quality in the middle of your back. Each week you watch them, you think, hey, they're not too bad, and then all of a sudden, bang. And it's a couple of weeks of run there. They're going to... I think we've been, Charlie, poorly served by our central defenders. Rudy said it tonight earlier on, and I've been saying it for a wee while now. I thought that this guy was going to be the quality guy we had at the back that we've been longing for. So if we get 2 years out of Alves, we all get bags of experience and bring the youngsters on. Admittedly, I think he brought young Bates on quite a bit, but I've been wrong before. I'm disappointed in him. I'm just disappointed. So I don't know whether Rangers will continue playing him. If he gets to the end of the season, he might be lucky. He gets to the end of the season, but play a wee bit better. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't see him being the mainstay central defence for next season. I just don't see it, pal. And we're suffering from it at the moment.
The problem is to get rid of him, mate. It might cost us £1 million quid.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the problem. His legs have gone for me, mate. His legs have gone. He can still jump, which is bizarre. He can jump like a salmon, mate. He can header that ball when it comes out the sky. He's very good at it. But the rest of his play, people run up him, they just run past him, they peel off him. He's no pace. That's a big problem for me. That's how I would like the three at the back. Two picking up, Alves one picking up, and somebody with pace spare, and then how we play the wide men, I would have Murphy on the left and maybe even Tavo on the right, and then three in the midfield. And then you can maybe have two up front. But we've got to try something different at Ibrox because our results there, Rudy Bear have been atrocious.
It's been bad, isn't it? I mean, 9 games we've dropped points, 7 defeats, I think it is, and 7 defeats and 2 draws. That's a huge amount of points to drop at Ibrox, and it's certainly not anywhere near good enough to win a league title. That's just not acceptable. Not under any circumstances is that kind of unacceptable at home. And people can come up with all the theories they like, is it down to, the fans getting on, the players can't handle the fans getting on their back. Well, it's incumbent upon them to go in the park and play properly then, and put up a good performance and get the fans up for it, because at the end of the day, they're the privileged ones. We go and pay to watch your club play. They play for our club and get paid to do it, They would run out in that turf, something we all dream of doing, So for me, it's their job, and Graham Murty, in many respects, has said that. It's up to the players, and regardless of formation, tactics, or anything else, once they cross that white line and walk onto that park, it's down to them, you know what I mean? And there's no way you can say some of the performances we've watched, especially at home this season, have been anywhere near good enough. You know, and they should know that. They should know that. They should be under absolutely no doubt whatsoever that it's just not good enough. And could it be, is it down to the quality? Is it we just don't have the quality? Are we a sort of, you know, are we well, look, there's a chance we could end up fourth, isn't there? You know what I mean, if we don't win tomorrow. So is that what it's down to? Because I'm starting to think that a wee bit. I think we need a whole revamp now, to be honest. Once this new manager comes in, whoever he might be, I don't think we've got enough quality. I think I was happy with the January transfer window, Murphy, Cummins, guys like that, you know. Sean Goss, was happy with him for a while. But it's now looking to me that we're going to have to do the same thing again come the summer, you know. And there's also a case for saying you can't do all that work in 1 or 2 transfer windows. It maybe take 3 or 4 transfer windows to get the team that we want, to see. But for me, that team's just not good enough. It's as simple as that. There's a lot of boys in that team that are pretty football players, but there's no steel for me whatsoever. You know, hopefully young McCrory coming back maybe add a wee bit of that, because he's got a wee bit of that in his game, you know. But, you know, you can have all the fancy Dans in the world. You know, if you've not got the boys who get in there and make the tackles and win the ball, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Aye. We've known the ball winner.
No.
I can't think of the last ball winner.
Say that, Ox, at the beginning of the show. I'd want a big, strong, commanding centre-back who'll go absolutely through players to stop them. And I'd like to see a ball winner, a Barry Ferguson type player, Ian Ferguson type player in the middle.
The ball winner could be McCrory, mate, if he grows into that position, because he's got the pace and the physique to do it, mate.
Yeah, it's a possibility. So maybe that's where his position is going to be for the rest of the season. I'm glad to see the boy back because I think we've missed him. You know. I think he was really coming on to a game. But I think the way I'll be honest with you, your defence couldn't keep a Wayne's at a close, man. I mean, look at him. The last 3 games alone, we've lost, what is it, 6 goals.
Rudy, can I ask you not to mention Wayne's and closes? You know there's an ongoing court case.
Right, okay.
All right.
But we've lost 6 goals. 6 goals in 3 games. You know, that's just no good enough. You know, it's not, you know, I mean, at times, maybe the midfield and the forwards are getting a bit, maybe they're getting a bit sort of fed up with the defensive situation. Because, see, when I was in that dressing room and the defence were losing that amount of goals, I'd be getting off my nut with them. So
well, since for the second half at Ibrox against Celtic, we kicked off to the end of the first half at Motherwell. 2 full games, yeah?
Yeah.
We conceded 4 and scored none.
Yeah, just you're losing them at the back and you're not scoring up front.
Aye.
You know, it's just
bad
no good
combination.
Enough. Bad combination, mate. Yeah.
Bad combination. Yeah, man. But no, everybody's seen it different. And it was interesting. Big Al, Miller, no Morales. What's your thinking, Al?
I just think the experience and that, and we can't afford to be embarrassed at Ibrox, and there is a real fear that we will maybe start to plummet. I mean, a few weeks ago we were 3 points off them or whatever it was. Realistically, we can finish the season in 4th. So that's a fear. While the players are there, they've all got fannies, and the manager can't get them up for games, especially at Ibrox, man. There's a real sense that we could start plummeting.
Al, can I ask you something? Do you not think the players though have got to take some of the responsibility, because you're saying Graham Murray, and I agree with you, it seems you can't get them up for games at Ibrox, but my point is they should be able to get up for the games without Graham Murray having to get up for it, you know.
That's what I'm saying to you. They players didn't have the balls, man.
Yeah.
Some of them, you'd like to play against some of them because you could bully them, you know what I mean? You could take their pocket money off them easy, and that shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be happening anywhere. We shouldn't be going to any stadium in Scotland and getting bullied, but you see it, and we spoke last week straight away. The week prior to the game, when you not yourself, but Ox, Fox, Ibrox, Bridgeman, whoever else was on the show, we all knew how Motherwell were going to come out, and not one of them rose to that challenge. Look, you're getting booted out of the park. Somebody's got to snap, and take one of them out. You got a red card, you got a yellow card, but at least you've shown some sort of dig about you, a set of kahunas. None of them seem to have that, like, you know, and that's really, really disappointing for me. Really disappointing. And there is a realistic fear that we could go to fourth, and how would our season feel then when we were so close? That then reflects back on the board for putting somebody in place. Real pressure on Mr. Allen, because I'd say Murphy maybe has that character about him that is required to be a Rangers player. Yeah, I've never seen nothing written down, but we all know what it is. Have a bit of heart, have a bit of dig, give 100%. There's no man in the team at the moment does that. I think Cummins has got that about him. No way has that Martin got it. Alves hasn't got it. Declan John, I think, has it. Tavernier, I think, I'm going off him lately. I'm going off him, really going off him. Candias, I think can show it. I think Miller's got it, but Miller doesn't play, so you have to play him to put that in the team, put it on the park for us. Dorrans has come back for an injury. Jack's not there. McCrory's coming back for an injury. So we have been decimated by injuries. In the injury room where people are saying that it counts. So, like, the players take responsibility, of course they do. But for me, I've said to you before, he isn't a leader. A leader has to look like a leader. You're mentioning he's biting. That's like biting your nails and that. That's a nervous thing, biting the collar of your jacket and that. That should tell the whole world I'm weak. Bite your nails, bite your collar, do what you want off camera. No in front of a 50,000 seater stadium, in front of 50,000 fans, and in front of a worldwide audience, I feel like. Don't do that, man, on the side of the park. So they things to me, I would look across and say, he's no bothering, so why should I bother? Like, you know what I mean?
I think for me and all, some of the post-match stuff, you know, in the last couple of weeks, it looks like he's verging on bursting into tears. That's just
you go back to that Dundee game, man. You go back to that Dundee game, man. You know what I mean? You go back to that Dundee. Yeah, you have to look the part first and foremost. I think you have to have confidence, even in defeat. You have to have confidence. You have to have a certain arrogance. He's said that he's too nice a guy to have any of the things. He doesn't have any of the attributes to be a leader of men. And at a club like ours, we've had figureheads that are leaders of men. Yeah. He's just not got it, man. And I think maybe there's some people in the boardroom need to have a wee look at themselves as well, and they need to start growing a set of balls, because they mentioned last night in the show that I think it was Fox, they're no vociferous in defending the club. If the board are slow in defending the club, well, what's the manager? He's not going to take the lead. He's taking the lead after people above him. You know what I mean? So, and then that all just flows downhill into the park, I think.
It's not his job. That's not his job to do that.
No, but if he sees his bosses not being angry, he's not going to be angry, and then the players are not going to be angry. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Do you know? Do you know what we've got? We've got some. There's a certain. Look, Mr. Murty wasn't brought up, and not just and he doesn't understand how the Rangers support feel.
He was brought up at him. That's what he was brought up.
You know,
I mentioned that last week. Bridge laughed, but that's true. His father,
he doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand. He should never be there, man. Is he a Lord Haw-Haw or something, isn't it? Snake in the grass, that's what he is.
Well, I don't know about that, but what I mean is, he's the politics behind all the things that's happening, unless you're brought up with, he'll understand the football side of it, and he'll know how big our club is. The constant attacks and the lies and the smear and the fake news that we would just like. They can't come out with everything. They would spend their whole life doing it, but just not one over, and just the support would rally behind them because we're getting scurried with it.
He's aware of that, Ox. He's aware of that.
I don't know if he doesn't
see, no, he's going to be if you're in that situation.
They're in a different bubble for us. They're in a different bubble for us, mate. You know the things that are important to us.
I know what you're saying.
The things that are important to us when the media, some of the media things they don't maybe see. Like, I've got a view. I've got some of the tackles I see slightly different for Bridge.
Aye.
But I agree with Bridge that our manager shouldn't be placating other teams' players.
Yes.
Yeah, he should be looking after our players. Right.
Sorry to talk over you, mate, and sorry to go on a bit of rant. But our manager shouldn't be mentioning. Our manager shouldn't be mentioning the Hibs manager. He's saying to him, he goes to him for advice or he gets bits of advice. That's fine. Behind the scenes, don't let us know about that. But yet he comes out, he's that naive to say, who is that for? Because it's certainly not for us as fans.
And that's the naivety and no understanding.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, we've also been joined by the one and only George Logan. Evening, George.
Hi, George.
Hi, George.
Evening, George.
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right, big fella.
Yeah, Friday night's the men's night, George. Only men calls the night.
Aye, that's it, aye. Good to hear Rudy back on. By the way, I like what he's all saying.
Cheers, George.
I think he's all right in what he's saying. But the two things we've been missing this season is, well, for me, also I've said it a million times, as a leader at the side of the park. We've also not got a leader on the park. I think with somebody was saying about the players bringing. I think we're bringing a lot of good players, Rocks. I really do. I think these guys, with a half-decent manager, would be having a much better season. A leader on the park, like I say, Bridgeman was speaking. For example, you see that guy that's in the midfield for Kilmarnock, somebody like him in midfield, and a bit of an enforcer, somebody that can look to, the young boys can look to and take a wee bit of hurt for and things like that. You should have it hurt anyway, you're playing with Rangers, but it doesn't always work like that. But I would like to see if we could get somebody in that midfield and somebody, I can you said the other night the Rocks have been 7 players away. I really hope you're wrong that we're 7 players away for having a first team players, for having a half decent team. I didn't think we're that far away. I think a couple of centre halves and a good centre midfielder and a proper manager, and I think we'll be right up there. I'm not saying we've got to be up there winning Champions League. I just think we'll be up there. We'll be right steps in the right direction, Ox. I just think that we really need to. I ken it's hard. I'm picking on Murty all the time, but forget about everything else. I think Graham Murty's a problem, and a lot of folks say, "Oh, but he's done us a favour by standing in." Look, anyone who's on this panel right now would stand in to be the Rangers manager. It should be an honour for him. It's just no worked out. You've got to thank him and say you're a nice guy, but you'll never be a Rangers manager. And I think everybody's saying about the board taking the easy option, cheap option. That's 100% right. But I think the complete and utter blame lies at Graham Murty's door, because he's just tactful inept. He's just not really got a clue to be a football manager, in my honest opinion, Ox. And I think we're all looking for different reasons, the formations and things like that. I just don't think he's got a clue, Ox. And it's sad to say it, but I really don't think it is.
The results bear that out, George, at Ibrox. Now, there has been times we were unlucky. We should have lost against them at Ibrox. We were atrocious against Motherwell, first half. Apart from the first 10-15 minutes against Kilmarnock, we were atrocious.
Yeah.
We were atrocious against St Johnstone. We were atrocious against Hamilton. We should have beat Hibs, let's be honest about it. Hibs monked his penalty kick. Tav was naive. We should have had enough chances to win that game 3 or 4 times, really, if I'm being honest. But the results at Ibrox, George, that's the big chink in his armour, and it's all about winning football matches. And he might have been the worst manager in the world, but if he wins the football matches, people look at it so differently.
Aye, that's right, Ox. I think And no offence to anybody at all, I think we're trying to make excuses. Ken, maybe our team's not the greatest, our board, the goalkeeper and things like that. I think it's solely down to him. I mean, a lot of guys on this panel, you see everything. Alan every Friday night he puts a team in, and I think to myself, I would love to see that team playing them on. You'll see a team, I'd love to see that team playing them on. It's just not going to happen. I honestly didn't think McCrory should play them on. I think I would like to see him come in the second half, but he's probably read the papers all this week and thought to himself, the fans want that, I'm going to put him in, because that's the kind of manager I think he is. I think he's made crazy decisions and big bad mistakes in big games for us, and I think he's let us down. I think that one in the Old Firm game when he never used the substitution and things like that. Kenny Miller, I don't care what anybody says about Kenny Miller. If you've got Kenny Miller sitting on the bench, you're 3-2 down to your biggest rivals with 5 minutes to go, and you've got a substitute, 15 minutes to go, you bring him on. I don't care what you do. You take a centre half off and you put him on. I love Kenny Miller. I was in the main stand that day and I was screaming to get Miller on. Screaming, it was so obvious that what we needed, because he is, whether you like it or not, and he's one of my all-time favourites. He can score a goal. Well, that's it, folks. That's what we needed, I think.
I think round about where I sit as well, there was a load of guys, including myself, were wondering when's he going to start putting substitutes on, because we desperately need them. We need to change them, but it wasn't happening, so it never happened. And I'm disappointed every week. Because just against Motherwell there, for instance, I said it then, the Monday night there and Saturday after the game, in my opinion, only my opinion of course, if Mr. Windass doesn't get injured, we don't make a substitution. And I think that's scandalous. It looks at me. If I was and I'm going to go to Al 63s, John, if I was a director at a football club, I would think it would be pretty compulsory you play 13 players. I understand keeping one back, Bridge, in case you get an injury and that, but the game's changed and it's a 13-man game and it's part of how you set your team up. Evening, Al.
Evening, guys. Is this loud enough?
Yes.
Evening, Alan.
Crispin sound.
How you doing, guys? I was going to just first and foremost say sorry for a couple of things I put in the lobby.
Don't worry about it. Carry on.
But so everybody knows, I went and said something about it's still like a band sort of thing, but it wasn't. It was my computer. My computer was good, so I'm back on this one. Right. Anyway, when it comes to Mr. Murray, I've said a few times in here, I feel sorry for him because he's doing a favour, isn't he? He's stepping up to the mark when the bosses come in and say, come on, do your job. Or do a job for us, rather. But when he's in the job, he's got to be able to see what we can all see. He's got to be able to see that the guy Windass, time and time again, is just not producing. See, even a lot of the games when he was scoring, and I was in here saying it as well, see, apart from the goal, if you take the goal out of the way, he wasn't doing anything for 90 minutes. I mean, you see him doing nothing for 90 minutes and not scoring a goal. That's when it starts to sink into some people's heads. They say, what is it that guy is then? Because see what it looks like. It's like he's walking about and jogging about, watching everybody else playing football. And it's just no good enough for a man done. And like other folks say, it is nice, and that the main thing is it isn't, as in capitals, it's not nice to think of a guy being injured, because that's just no cricket. But it's the only way you'll get somebody else playing, and then if you'll be able to see what another person's like in the team when you're not carrying. That'll be interesting to see how that unfolds tomorrow, because a lot of people wanted Windass dropped, didn't they? I think the Old Firm game was the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. He only wants to play in fits and starts when he gets the ball. He makes an occasional run, but he doesn't do it often off the ball. He's got a big flaw in his game, and how somebody's not taking him aside and try to tell him that, because he's got a bit of talent, but you've got to work hard. It's the first requisite of being a professional football player. Mm-hmm. And he does drop in. Not that he's that good, but he drops into that wee kind of bracket of a luxury player. This Rangers team's we're not that great, innit? We're trying to get better. We're trying to bring in better players, etc. As we see through the different we call them transfer windows and that. And we know with a couple of duff managers, and much as this guy's also in there as manager, like I said before, he's in there helping out. So I don't blame him. And I don't know if we can blame all the players, because some of the players still shouldn't be at Ibrox, no?
I mean,
Well, my biggest gripe with the board is not so much the Murray one, because obviously people say it's a cheap option. It might have been the safe option short term, but the Pedro Cachina one, that was the one that I think they got totally wrong.
Pedro wasn't good. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I was trying to talk him
You
up.
tried very hard, didn't you? You tried very hard.
Mostly because I got hammered before for slagging Warburton, but...
you went the other way, but
at the same time, I thought, right, out there for him, try get it, at least say things better, but it didn't kind of work.
Anyway, just a shout out for anybody's the last call for Skipper's ticket, free ticket for the club deck. Just make a small donation to Jim Hanna's Just Giving Place for Stuart Pedley. I said Stephen earlier on. Stuart, who sadly passed away, who done Broxy Bear for many years at Ibrox. He gave a lot of people, a lot of kids in particular, some great entertainment. Al, who is the next manager?
Is that to me?
Aye, Alan.
All right.
Sorry, I said Al. I should have said you.
I didn't know if Alan was still on the call.
Alan,
who do you think? Jinx, it's hard, isn't it? I still think we're looking at the list of people that are going to be getting sacked for their clubs and see what's available. There's
no candidate there yet. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so.
All right, okay. I get where you're coming from, because there's nobody.
There's nobody stands out.
Stands out, is there?
Is that not a dangerous tactic?
Maybe, potentially. But I don't know who. They must be sitting doing all sorts of work thinking about it, mate. But who would you go for, Big Al?
Well, I should too. Bruce, the Warnock type of fella. I'd pay money. I know, but
get promoted.
I know what you're saying. But you've got to go and ask them the question.
Aye.
I wouldn't live in fear of that. I would say to them, look, this is a deal that we can offer you. Would you like to come and manage Glasgow Rangers? I know they're playing in the English Premiership.
They could be, the best could be.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Well, if that'll be whoever's third on the list, then it'll be whoever's fourth on the list. We've got to go and ask the questions, but I think Rudy has said, I think we'd all be happy with it, with the British manager with that sensibility, that type of character. We need somebody.
You don't want anyone that's got any link to Rangers in the past?
I'm not. That doesn't really bother me. I would.
Wait a minute. Just a minute ago, there you were saying, for instance, that you didn't want so and so because it wasn't one of them, and I'm talking about the existing manager. He's no one of us. You were implying, yes, for instance, that.
But he is. He was brought up a Catholic. He was brought up a Celtic fan. So yeah, but I don't believe Steve Bruce was or Neil Warnock was. They've got a
I'm just asking if you're differentiating. Would it be better? Have you thought about anything better, like going for someone with direct links to the Rangers in the past?
Like Stuart McCall.
There you go. I'm not saying I would have Stuart McCall back, but all I'm saying is people had links in the past. Frank de Boer, just for saying it, Frank de Boer, Ronald de Boer, Brian Laudrup, people like that, if necessary, Walter Smith. They're kind of safeguard type names in that sense, based on the way we were speaking about Mr. Murty, that's all. Nothing else. I just wondered if you wanted to think it. I know, because sometimes you think just it doesn't really matter who we get in. We've had them in the past and it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead. Life goes on. We need to go on with it and put a good manager in. I think my honest opinion and my fear is that we're going to go and try and select a manager and we're going to get knocked back. Now, if we're going to get knocked back, I want that to be done privately. I don't want any public knockbacks. Yeah. I don't want anything like that happening to Rangers again, ever. We tried to court Mr. McInnes, and for some reason or other, he just said no. And we'll probably never know why he said no. But everybody's got their thoughts on that. I'm just gutted for Rangers. Not gutted for him, gutted for Rangers. Because they started putting all their eggs in one basket there. And we are now. So, and a wee murmur going around and now, Al, it might be of interest to you, that apparently Mr. McInnes is still in some of the board's mind. There you go.
Oh, no.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that would happen now. But the board's bound to learn.
You never know.
From
But
that
stranger
incident.
things happen.
Well, I did say to you the other week here, I'm not changing my opinion. I don't want him as manager, but I don't think we'd be in this position. We certainly maybe wouldn't have won the Celtic games, but we'd probably have won other games. So
If we'd have won all the rest of them, we'd sit on top of the league if we'd won all the rest
well,
of them.
there you go then. There you go.
You know?
So,
I see,
maybe they were right.
Well, it's hard to say. You never know, but I do think we need a leader with strong character, and I'm with Big Al. Maybe a British type, but there's no standout candidate. I'd take the two of them, Warnock and Bruce, mate.
I was going to say Warnock earlier on there, Ox. I really do think he'd do a job for us. Do you know that? He's doing well with Cardiff just now, isn't he? I'd like to see Neil Warnock. Warnock come in because he's got a bit of an affinity with Rangers. I mean, he goes and watches the boys and all that when he's up here. He's got a place up on the west coast somewhere apparently. And he likes a wee visit to Auckland Howie every now and again.
Are they available already?
I don't think so,
available?
Mate. If they get promoted, he's getting
I think if he gets into the English Premiership, I think it'd be hard to get him away from that bridge, to be honest. But I think he'd do a good job for us. I think he's the kind of manager we need right now, to be honest.
You know, another thing I hope doesn't happen is that in the past, the press have actually, shall we say, press ganged the Rangers board into going for a particular manager. That kind of happened in the past as well. I'd rather go down the soonest route and just don't tell MDN and just go and get them and then bring them into the boardroom and say there's our new manager. That's what I would like to see.
Let's hope that's what they're doing now then, Bridge.
No, is that not what Ali McCoist was alluding to?
I've got no idea what Ali McCoist was alluding to. I never listened to too much of what he said, so maybe you could enlighten us what he was alluding to. I mean, your opinion.
Well, well, my opinion on.
No, what your opinion is of what Ali McCoist was saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm just going to tell you.
Right, sorry.
He was saying that he thought that it would have been done and dusted within 2 weeks. We're up to that time limit now. That they would have had a managerial had they sorted out.
Do you think?
Who's it? One at a time. 1
1 second.
Rudy Bear, and then we'll go back to Big Al.
Well, I was just going to ask Big Al there. Al, do you think there's a possibility they're waiting to find out the result of the Scottish Cup, the semi-final next week? They're waiting for that. Get that out the way first, and then maybe if there's something to be announced, they're going to announce it then.
Or in regards to bringing a new manager?
Aye.
If they get him keeping the job?
No, after they get the semi-final. No, I don't think he'll get the job now. I think maybe...
You could be right, because I know you're a bit of the Notre Dame, so you could be right there, mate. That's a good shout. But what I was just going to say was, who's the Fulham manager at the moment? Is anything off the top of their head?
Oh, what's his name?
Is he British?
No, I think he's Portuguese. I'll check it out.
Right. So Aston Villa's Bruce. Who's the Derby manager?
The boy that was at Birmingham. Right, is it?
Right. And the Middlesbrough manager's Monk. Is that right?
Aye.
So there's a good chance out of day 4, Fulham, Aston Villa, Derby or Middlesbrough. There's 3 British managers. There's a good chance none of them will get into the Premiership. But they're all pushing. I mean, if they can push for a place in the English Championship, could surely any one of the managers come to Rangers and push us and win the league, win a cup in Scotland. So you're going to have the pick of 3. Pick of 3.
Did Steve Bruce say he'd walk out hot coals to get to Rangers at one point?
It's in a book somewhere. Somebody quoted that to me. I think his dad's Scottish. They said I'd crawl my hands and knees to get to Ibrox, whether it was I think it was obviously meaning as a player. The Bristol City manager gets spoke about quite highly. I listen to 5 Live. He's an Englishman, British style of football. He's pushing for that promotion. He doesn't get it. These type of guys might be. I know it's taking a bit of a chance, but I think they guys have got enough pedigree in that English Championship to come to Rangers.
It's a good point you make.
I get amazed. Forgive me. I get amazed at the thought of somebody, if they're doing well in the English Championship, the top of the English Championship paying a vast sum of money compared to what we could do. I don't know what we could do to attract a manager that, other than pay a lot of money, which I don't think we've got in order to get it. So somewhere along the line we're going to have to find a sort of middle of the road one, and someone that's unemployed and desperate to get back in, for instance, which would, you could look at De Boer for that. He's one of the guys that's unemployed. But
see the answer for that. The answer to that for me, Bridge, is a lot of these guys have already made their money. So for me, the answer to that is European football. They get the chance to come to Scotland, win a league title, win cups on a regular basis if they can put the right team together, and then get a crack at Europe. I mean, very few of the managers that's just been mentioned that are ever going to get that opportunity. European to have a crack at European football. They would get that with Rangers, and I'm sure that they take that into consideration.
I can't announce the Fulham manager, mate. So he's no British.
You can't pronounce it.
Give it a go.
All right, okay, here we go.
Give it a go.
Slavia. Oh, well, he's a jock. Jock Ananovic.
Oh, there you go. Well, if he's a Vitch, he's Serbian, so he's got some balls. Get him in, man.
Anyway, we've reached that time of the evening, and it's shout-out time, and we'll start with Big Al.
Thanks very much, gentlemen. All the best. I'm away to make some Empire biscuits.
Oh, a real man. Rudy Bear.
A wee shout out to the ladies that phoned the other night. It was very enjoyable. I thought it was fantastic.
Did you laugh?
I did. I had a wee giggle. I had a wee giggle. So it'd be nice to hear more of them phoning in, I think. So a wee shout out to the ladies that phoned in. Well done.
Yeah. Bridgeman.
Oh, can I just say, I like to echo everybody's shout-outs, but just remind everybody, it's a massive game tomorrow for us. Huge game for our club and for the team. But, really and truly, another one that we really and truly cannot afford we've got to win it. It's another got to win, a must-win game. So, to other Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here at Rangers Radio, every single one of us, in our mind, get to the game. Some of us can get there physically. Come on, keep it going for the Rangers, because we need it. Keep it going.
Yeah, can I thank all the callers? George Logan, the one and only Fox, my mate Cumbrian Baird, the legend Cybrooks Loyal, Big Al for Australia, Al 63, great to hear him back on again, the one and only Skipper, Rudy Bear, and of course Bridgeman for taking the time to call Rangers Radio this evening. Thank everybody in the lobby for taking part and everybody for listening. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock for a pre-match show. Take it away, old school boy.
They come from all of Glasgow, they come from near and far. They come from every highland glen, from here to Lochnacar. They sail from dear old Belfast to the bonny banks of Clyde. They gather round to timeless path and loudly sing with pride. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. In case you didn't catch it, friend, I set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. The boys in blue of Ibrox High, the Scotland's very best. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. In case you didn't catch it, friend, I set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. The boys in blue of Ibrox High, the Scotland's very best. There's Richie Shearer, Robin, John Craig McKinnon too. There's Baxter, Henderson, George McLean, they proudly wear the blue. There's Miller, Brandon, Wilson, what better could you want? Plus 70,000 Rangers fans that proudly sing this chant. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. In case you didn't catch it, friend, I've set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. The boys in blue, the Ibrox High, the Scotland's very best. Robin, John Craig McKinnon too. There's Baxter, Henderson, George McLean, they proudly wear the blue. There's Miller, Brandon, Wilson, what better could you want? Plus 70,000 Rangers